Live and direct, as I always am, 7 a.m. We're a little bit earlier today. Live and direct in front of what I have dubbed the Sean Diddy Combs Courthouse, 500 Pearl Street, day number 34. I'm not at my usual location. I'm a little further down. There's some other content creators near my spot, and they are not happy. They're yelling at something, so I'm like, had to pull a little ways down. Maybe I'll go back to my spot when she's done. All right. Got a good show set up for you guys today. A lot of information I was able to gather yesterday. For those of you who caught yesterday, I was one of the last ones to leave here. The sun was going down. There was nobody outside. I was able to talk with some people, talk with some connects, talk with some sources, and I have some information for y'all, so stay tuned. What up? What up? Stacy says good morning. Peggy says good morning. Good morning, both y'all. Adora, hi. Stacy says I'm handsome. What up, Stacy? Hey. Marlene, I think, sorry if I pronounced people's names wrong, said good morning, Trent. Adorna says hi. Mud Crab says good morning. Tez, what up? Tez, my homie, yo. Tez is my co-star. Tez is at every single one of my lives. Shout out, Tez. Love y'all. Love you. Ray says, yo, Doris, something about Mary says, good morning. Doris, something about Mary is always here too. What up? I got mad co-stars. Natasha's always here too. Hi, Natasha. Dorothy, Pamela, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. All right, Veronica, Tracy, Felicia Thomas, good morning. Nicole says, good morning, nephew. How are you doing today, Auntie Nikki? Hey, Auntie Nikki, what up? Auntie Nikki too, another one of my co-stars. Yo, I got mad co-stars up in here, yo. What up? All right, yeah, everyone's saying here, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, y'all. My coffee is tasting extra nice this morning. I don't know what's going on. I think I might be turning into a coffee drinker. It's raining out here. Don't mind my spots on my shirt. I think I might be turning into a little bit of a coffee drinker, guys. This is bad. All right. As always, I like to give you guys some insight of what's going on in and out the courtroom. Hold on, Mud asked me a question. It says, what do you think? Trent, I reckon just after lunch, we could have a verdict. All right, good question. And you guys know in the morning, I don't have that much, a huge show for you guys. So this is where I take my time to answer some of your questions. I do have maybe around 10 or 15 minutes, maybe 20 minutes of stuff to talk to you guys about. Then I'll get back to answer your question. But quickly, Mud, I will answer this. And this is what I was about to tell you, so give me a second to like set it up. Whew, I don't want to miss my coffee. It's like the perfect temperature and it tastes so good. Oh, the cafe Americano Venti from Starbucks. Yo, Starbucks, you better give me a deal or something, man. I'm promoting you guys every day, yo. Woo, Cafe Americano, what up? You know when you get it and it's like too hot, then you can't drink it, and then you wait. Sometimes you miss, and then it's like lukewarm and you miss it. So anyways, I digress. Let me get to why you guys are here. So to answer Mud's question, so I got here today normally like I do pretty early, and there's a line outside. It is very quiet in the courtroom today. So outside of the courthouse today, very quiet. The police officers are still here. The tents are still outside with the traditional media, but the line for public, press, content creators is very, very small today. A lot of people, I think, don't think that we're gonna get a verdict today. I think differently. I think people should be here today. If anything, they shouldn't have been here yesterday, because yesterday, half the day was jury instructions. We knew it was gonna take 2.5 hours, and the jury was gonna deliberate. I didn't think for a second that we were gonna get a verdict in 2 or 3 hours. Did we get back some notes? Yes, we did. We got some exciting stuff back, but there was a lot of people here yesterday, the normal amount. I came here today, and it is very, very small lineup, not a lot of action, not a lot of energy that's going on outside of the courtroom, okay? Pamela said, Diddy's going down or it's fixed. All right. For those of you who saw yesterday's show, we definitely talked about jury instructions. We also talked about the 2 notes that came back. I'm not going to talk about them at length today, but like I said, I was able to talk to some people that were coming out the courtroom yesterday, some inside sources, and I have a little bit more information for you guys and a couple of things that I just want to like clarify for you, okay? So today's show, we're going to talk about juror number 25. Like I said, I have a little bit of an inside scoop. Then I have an alternate theory on juror number 25. Then we're going to talk about the last note that came in and what the lawyers are discussing, what they discussed yesterday after court and what they're going to deliver to the judge this morning. A lot of people have been not necessarily reporting this wrong, but missing the fact that the note came back, there hasn't been an answer yet. When the jury sends out a note, the judge, yes, he is the deciding factor of, somebody says Starbucks and a man bun. Wow, okay. Anyways, I'm not gonna answer that. I gotta get a moderator in my chats. I have no problem with my Starbucks. Let me just drink it again. And my man bun. Let's do a 360. Yeah, I'm very confident in my ways, all right? Stop hating, playboy. All right. So they have not answered. Thanks, Tez, for laughing at that. Somebody says, I'll delete and block him ASAP. Thank you. What was I going to say now? Yeah, so they have not given instructions back to the jury. They've given the question. They've asked the question, sent out the note. They haven't given the directions. What they will do, what they've been doing tonight and what they'll do today is the defense will give a suggestion what to answer that note. The prosecution will give a direction. The judge will hear both sides and then he'll send back a note. The judge is very fair. He always asks both sides what they would like to send back. Again, the judge makes the final decision. So we'll talk about that. We will talk about a polling that is going on if Diddy is innocent or guilty. There's some polls going on, and I want to talk to you guys about it. And I want to take my own Trent Out Loud poll. We're going to do that today. I have a little bit more information on juror number 5, the floor person. And lastly, if we have time, I'm going to go over quickly some things that we talked about yesterday in juror instructions. All right, so that is today's show. So first and foremost, the thing that everybody's talking about, juror number 25. Quickly, so when this landed yesterday, wow, fast problems. For the Diddy jury deliberation. There's already a complaint about a juror not following instructions, okay? The note was, just to preface it, to remind you guys, the note was, we have received a note from the jury, and we have a juror, number 25, who we believe, just listen to this, cannot follow your instructions. I would like to meet with the court about, etc., etc. Listen to this. Something like this happened in the Stormy Daniels trial in the same courthouse, right here beside me, and the judge read multiple versions of the Allen charge, which encourages deadlocked jurors to keep trying. The jury ended up convicting, and it was upheld in the Second Circuit Court, okay? Lastly, juror's note says that there's a single holdout refusing to look at the evidence. The judge read the Allen charge and the instructions, and they continued deliberating. Now, what I want to emphasize is that the note said he cannot follow instructions, but juror number 25 is a 55-year-old white man. He has a PhD, okay, in nuclear biology. He's a scientist. So what does that tell you? That tells you that he can understand the jury instructions. He just finds that he is smart enough and he wants to follow his own instructions. That's what that tells you. Now, let me tell you guys what jury nullification is. In layman terms, I don't know why this person is yelling so much. Anyways, jury nullification in layman terms is, I don't care what the judge tells me, I'm gonna do whatever I want and I'm gonna vote guilty or not guilty. That's jury nullification. Now, in the jury instructions, and in most court cases, the judge never lets a jury know about jury nullification. However, I would think somebody that has a PhD and somebody who's 51 years old probably knows about jury nullification. For those of you who don't know, I have a definition for you. What is jury nullification? Jury nullification is when a juror in a criminal trial acquits a defendant despite believing they violated the law, often due to disagreement with the law itself or its application. It's essentially a juror's decision to disregard the law and evidence, resulting in a not guilty verdict. This power, while not explicitly sanctioned by the law, stems from the jury's historical role and the inability to overturn an acquittal. Okay? Disagreements with the law. A jury may nullify if they believe the law is unjust, too harsh, or unfairly applied. The juror or juries, or what's a plural for juror, the jurors? The jurors have that ability. Again, it's not read out to you in jury instructions, but it is part of law, okay? And here's another thing, not a legal right. While jurors can nullify it, courts generally do not instruct them on this power and sometimes discourage it. Unreliable acquittal. A jury's not guilty verdict, even if based on nullification, listen to this, cannot be appealed nor overturned. Meaning the government can't look and say, hey, this juror nullified his vote, going completely, his or her, going completely against it. The government can't look and say, hey, we would like to appeal it or overturn it. It is the juror's decision. Potential for misuse. Some argue that juror nullification can be used to undermine the legal system or promote biases. But again, it is still something that is legal. And then the last thing is the historical content. Is juror nullification has been used throughout history to challenge the law, considering unjust, such as those related to things that happened in like the 1600s, okay? So just want to reiterate that although they're sending a note about juror number 25, this juror can do whatever he wants. Now, I told you guys yesterday that the prosecution kind of was a little bit iffy on it and said, hey, we want to, look and we want to, get back to you, Judge, on what we should do. Diddy's defense team was like, yo, tell them it's okay. Tell them that juror number 25 can stay and just continue deliberating. It ultimately went back kind of like in the defense way where it's like, hey, just keep him here. It's early. And by the way, for those who didn't see yesterday's episode, this note came back in half an hour. Some people are reporting that it was like an hour and a half or 2 hours, which is not that big of a difference, but it is still, timing is still very different, and that's why I like to be right in the courtroom. And I didn't leave the minute the jury went to deliberate. I stayed in there. That note came back within half an hour. That lets you know that this juror number 25 is testy, and they found that out right away. They went back around 12. Everybody went for lunch. I was like, I don't even think they're going to start deliberating. They found a floor person within 5 minutes, which I'll tell you about. That's juror number 5. And within 25 minutes, you come back and you say, yo, this guy cannot, and it's not that he cannot comprehend because he has a PhD. If he can get a PhD and he's a scientist, he can understand the jury instructions. He is willing to use his law or his what's the word I'm looking for? His use of the law that he is fully aware of. Jury nullification, which means that, yes, jury instructions are, this is the law. If this happens, this means that. This means he's guilty. This means he's not guilty. I don't care the jury instructions. I don't care what the law says. I'm here. I'm the judge. And in the jury instructions, the judge says, you guys are the judge now. You are the ones to determine. And part of that determination is you could decide if you do not want to apply a law. So people think, I think Diddy's team thinks that this is a win for Diddy. This is somebody out there who's like, I don't care about the DRUG charge. I don't care about this. I am not even talking with y'all. I don't even want to deliberate. I'm here voting not guilty. Y'all can do whatever you want. Again, we can only speculate. Nobody, not even the judge, nobody knows what's going on or nobody has insight of what's going on in there. We could just speculate. Now, that's one theory. One theory is he's holding out, wants to send Diddy home. He doesn't want to deliberate. He doesn't want to talk with his colleagues or the other jurors. Now, here's another theory that somebody told me. Said there's another theory. Some people believe that he's a holdout and he wants to send Diddy to jail and the others want to send him home. Okay? I don't think so because the others know exactly what they want to do, but he knows what, I don't think so. I think the others know exactly what they want to do, and what they want to do is be able to deliberate. So I think if, let's say the 11 other people that are there, for him to be the one that wants to send him to jail and all the 11 want to send him, all the 11 want to send Diddy home, that would mean that the defense did a far better job that without even deliberating. Oh my gosh, this guy's moving this fence and doesn't care that my camera is right here. Sorry, guys, 1 second. Yeah, so I don't think that, bro, I just want to just make sure, bro, hello? I'm just recording here, so I just want to make sure you're just careful of the fence. But I'm going to hold it down, lift it. Go ahead. I think it's, oh, there we go. Thank you. I just thought it was twist-tied and you couldn't get it up. Yeah, I got you. Yeah, so I don't think it's the 11 jurors after half an hour being like, yo, we want to all send him home. And he's like, no, I want to send him to jail. That's up for you guys to decide what you want. I think he probably wants to send him home, and not the 11 that wants to send him to jail, but the 11 are like, hey, we want to just deliberate. We want to talk. We want to see what everybody has to say. So that is juror number 25. Now, let's get into what, and I'm going to go back to the comments and ask you guys what you think, okay? I just want to get through all the information for people who didn't see yesterday's episode, okay? Now, let's go to talk about the last note that came in on DRUGs, which is the one predicate act that really upsets me, that really bothers me. Ever since I heard about it, I think even during the case and in closing arguments from the prosecution, I have been so bothered by this, and I want to talk to you guys about it. And also, I think that's why the note came back, because I think more people in that jury room are thinking like me. And even yesterday, a lot of you were agreeing with me, okay? So the defense cannot be excited about this. A note came back. We have 2 letters from the jury. One is asking for if somebody has a controlled substance and a person hands it over, is that distribution? Just want to make sure. We're at a party. I ask you, let's just choose here, Latino Heat, NYC. Hey, Latino Heat NYC. Actually, you know what? I just got a super chat. Vanessa, thank you very much for the super chat. Good morning, Trent. I have a feeling it's going to be an exciting day. I hope so. Bam, 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 bam. Thank you for the super chat. I'm going to get some more coffee. All right, so let's just take Vanessa. Let's say Vanessa and I are at a party, and I ask, an individual asks for a controlled substance. So Vanessa has a controlled substance, and I'm like, hey, Vanessa, can I have some of that controlled substance? Vanessa hands it to me, and I'm like, hey, thanks, Vanessa, for this controlled substance. Is that distribution? That was the note that came back, okay? The juror will get an answer at 9 a.m. today. Like I told you, they have not answered him yet, okay? They haven't answered the juror yet. Prosecutors emphasize that jury can convict on racketeering conspiracy based on 2 DRUG acts. This is what worries me, guys. Under RICO, there's 8 predicate acts, okay? One of those predicate acts are DRUG distribution. And like we just did, Vanessa handing over to me a controlled substance, that means Vanessa distributed a controlled substance to me. If we find that Vanessa and I went to 2 parties, and she did that to me twice, once on a Friday, once on a Saturday, that constitutes 2 predicate acts within 10 years. She could do it once on a Friday and then once on next Friday or even next year. That would be 2 predicate acts, and that means Vanessa, if they found her that she conspired with another person to do it, let's say her friend Sonia, that means Vanessa is a racketeer, which is crazy work to me. Here's something else very, very quickly before we go back. A lot of people don't know. They didn't mention that a conviction without sex trafficking finding would be a lot less of a time for Diddy, and he would not get a full life sentence. What does that mean? Let's say they find Diddy guilty of these 2 DRUG acts or something else, but they find him not guilty for sex trafficking under RICO. He will not get life. That's why everybody's so freaked out about RICO. RICO does not automatically give you a life sentence. If they find him guilty, and which they're looking into it. If they find him guilty under DRUG and let's say like arson, but not on sex trafficking under RICO, he will not get a life sentence. It's a lesser sentence. They didn't mention that a conviction without sex trafficking under RICO finding would be a big loss for the prosecution and get Diddy less than a life sentence. All right, make sure you all tell everybody about that. Judging by the fact that they're huddling around the piece of paper, there is a question about and it's not a verdict, okay? They would have a different note if that was the case. All right, so that is it with the little notes that I found. So let's go back to talking about DRUG, okay? I'm not saying that having DRUGs and Vanessa handing me or handing somebody else DRUGs is shouldn't be illegal. All I'm saying is that I think that if that is the case and that's what they want, they should charge him under a narcotics charge and not under a RICO charge. And whatever it would be, it's a personal use, let's say it's a year or 2 years. I think separate from the SEX trafficking and all the other stuff, the arson, whatever, blah, blah, let's just talk about this. I feel if the feds, if that's what they have him for and that's what they charge him for, I would be okay with them charging him under that, like a narcotics charge, even if it's personal, whatever the sentencing is. But if he goes down for RICO under 2 counts of DRUG and it's literally passing a personal amount to somebody at a party or at his house or whatever because they asked for it, I think that would be crazy work. I think the people of New York City, I think the people who have been following this trial will be very, very disappointed. Me just in particular, being super invested in this case, being at this trial every day, if that's what he gets convicted for RICO, and I'm not on any side, just for those people who might be new, doesn't matter to me if he goes inside or if he comes out or whatever. I'm just here trying to have conversation and being your eyes and ears in the courtroom. But I would be very disappointed if that's what they caught him under RICO for. If the RICO is, arson or bribery or the K word or X trafficking and that's what they find him guilty for, fine. That is the jury system. Do your time and whatever. But that DRUG is crazy. Now, again, y'all know I always try to look on both sides. Here's a positive spin that somebody brought to my attention. Oh, I hope it's not raining. Here's a positive spin on that note coming back, not being negative. Listen to this, not being negative. Here's a positive spin on the jury note asking about DRUG. Maybe the juries are thinking just like me and just like some of you, and they think that, and saying this can't be and sending a note back being like, are you guys serious? Are you serious, Judge? Are you really serious that if somebody asks somebody at a party, hey, can you actually give me, oh, it's starting to rain. Can you give me, hold on, I might have to take out my umbrella. Hold on, guys, sorry. Sorry, it's starting to come down. Is that just the trees? Whatever, I'll put it up just in case. Yeah, maybe the note coming back to the judge is like, are you guys really serious? Could that really actually be a thing? Like, even if the other person asked for it, are you serious? Come on, that could be what the note is. Of course, they're not gonna say in that language like, Judge, are you actually serious? But it could be there where they're talking in the background being like, yo, this is ridiculous. Like, we don't want to find him guilty of RICO. We're not finding him guilty of arson or bribery or whatever. And then somebody was like, yeah, but yo, what about that DRUG charge? I do believe that he handed it to Cassie, that he handed it to Jane, that he handed it to Brendan. And people are like, yeah, but he scared the shit out of me. What up, bro? That's my guy, Brian, man. TMZ in the building. I'm always scared that a rat is pulling up on me. Yeah, so this could be a positive way to be like, hey, we don't want to find RICO, but the one thing that we can't even really deny ourselves is like this whole DRUG thing. We do believe that Diddy had DRUGs. We saw the Gucci pouch. We saw all of this, and we do believe he handed it off. Like, are you guys serious? If we believe that he did that 2 times, you actually really want him to find us? Do you really want us to find him guilty of that and send this man to jail for 10 or 15 or 20 years or potentially life because he handed over some DRUG? So that's a positive way of looking at the note. Okay, I'll get to the comment section and let you guys know. You guys let me know what you think. Oh, there's a little birdie here. Is it still raining? Yo, New York is weird, man. It rains and then it stops. Super weird. All right, let's get to, well, let me tell you quickly, juror number 5. Juror number 5, I wasn't too sure if I could tell you guys yesterday, but I spoke with somebody in the court and I can tell you it is public knowledge. Juror number 5 is the floor person. He is a religious man. He's an investment analyst and he is a member of a Connecticut country club. A lot of people are like, oh, the floor person is in charge, the floor person does everything. No, the floor person just sends the note to the back to the judge. he is just a person that kind of is like the coordinator. He doesn't have a bigger vote, doesn't do anything. He's just more kind of like is the liaison between the judge and talks back and forth to people and kind of just organizes, writes stuffs on the board, has no power greater than any other juror, okay? I just want to clear that up. All right, now let me go to this poll. I saw a poll coming in today. They asked people, how many people think Diddy is guilty or innocent? Now, let's not dive too much into, oh, I feel he's guilty on this, or I feel he's guilty on that. Just overarching, there we go, starting to rain again. Overarching, do you think Diddy is guilty or innocent? And I want to take a poll. Let me get my pen out, 1 second. Oh, gosh. Sorry, guys. All right, I want to take a poll. I'm going to look in the comment section. I'm going to make a little chart, and I'm going to maybe take 20 people or 30 people. Hold on, don't put it yet. Don't give it out yet. Hold on. All right, here we go. All right, let's go. I'm going to put right here. Did it stop raining? Oh my gosh. All right, let's go. I'm going to put a poll here. I'm going to put G for guilty, N for not. Okay, here we go. Wait, you guys already started. Hold on. Jeez. Okay, hold on. So, hold on here. Not, guilty, not, guilty, oops, guilty, send him to jail, I guess that's guilty. Hold on. Jeez, there's a lot at 1, 2. He is guilty of RICO or being, okay, no. Oh, here we go, not guilty, not. I guess that's a not. Here's a guilty. Oh, not, guilty. Hold on. Guilty on some charges, that's a guilty. Guilty, not. 1, 2, 3 guilties. 1, 2, 3. Not. Gosh, it's starting to rain again. I think it looks like there's more guilty here, guys. Yeah. Look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 more guilties. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oops. Here's 1, 2, not. 1, 2. Here we go. All right, quickly here. Gosh, you guys really answer quickly. Jeez. Yeah, wow, I don't even have to count anymore. Just look at the feed. It's like, geez. 100% guilty. Yeah, there you go. I could even keep up. Like, here it is right here. G's, not guilty. So I think unanimously, people think that Diddy is guilty. Yeah. Okay, hold on. I just want to see something now. Let's dive down a little bit. Hold up, take a pause. Do you guys think Diddy is guilty of RICO? Okay, let's start from here now. I'll be able to tell by the feed. I won't even write it down. Is he guilty of RICO? Just put guilty RICO, not guilty RICO. Yeah, no. Look at that. No. Wow. So a lot of you guys don't think he's guilty of RICO. Not guilty of RICO. Yeah, that's unanimous. Not guilty of RICO. Wow. Okay. So let's do the other charges, seeing that we have some time. They haven't called us in yet. Okay. So you guys think, I'm going to write this down just to take a note here. So unanimously, the vote is not guilty of RICO. Okay, now what about SEX trafficking, force, fraud, and coercion? SEX trafficking, force, fraud, and coercion. Not the Mann Act. We'll do that one after. Tell me, guilty. This is SEX trafficking. Guilty, not guilty. Ooh, this one seems like it's kind of 50-50. No, G, no. This one seems 50-50, guys. Innocent until proven guilty. All right. SEX trafficking, force, fraud, and coercion is halfway. I would say that's half. So this is no. Force, fraud is half. And I think I know this one. There we go. Now, guilty of the Mann Act, trafficking. Is this guilty or not guilty? Yeah, see, there we go. This is gonna be guilty. Yeah. Guilty, guilty, guilty. I think that's obvious. Like, even Diddy knows he's guilty of that. Yeah, so that's why when you ask an overall poll if he's guilty or not, it's definitely because of definitely the Mann Act. Half of you guys think force, fraud, and coercion, and not many people think RICO. Super, super interesting. Love that. All right. Thank you guys for that poll. So they said that the poll was 52% guilty, 48% innocent. We were kind of all on the same page here. Love that. All right, so before I call it a day, what do you guys think about, ask me your questions. What do you think about the RICO charge, the double DRUGs? Like, do you think you should go to jail for that? Let me know. Let me know what your questions are. I can't scroll up because we just did a poll. Somebody says I should make a poll. I don't know how to do that. Let me see. Community moderator, filter, chat filter. I don't know how to make a poll. No, that's like my background. Anyways, I'll look into this. What is this? At least 1 minute video near, okay, no. All right, let me go to your questions. All right, 25 isn't black, he's a G white scientist. Is he really? I don't know if I could say that on Instagram. Not on Instagram, on YouTube. Jessica, I don't know that, but no, he is definitely not black. He's a white male. Like, I know who they are. I know who they're sitting there. I can't describe their faces to you guys, but he's not black. The floor guy is not black. The floor person is not black, and juror number 25 is not black. Somebody said he's going to get off on time served. Somebody says, can Diddy get pardon if he's found guilty? 100%. He can get pardon right now. Look at what Joe Biden did. Joe Biden pardoned his son Hunter. See, my coffee's cold. I missed my last sip. I got most of it though. Yeah, you can get pardoned at any time. And even somebody was telling me yesterday in the chat, I love you guys always giving me information. They can also give Diddy a plea deal even when the jurors are deliberating. I didn't know that, so thanks for whoever told me that yesterday. He's going to jail regardless of RICO. Somebody said not guilty. Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles said, Trent, we appreciate your effort, homie. Thank you. Thank you very much for the super chat. I'll come for some chicken and waffles. Next person said, guilty of 2 or more is guilty of RICO, isn't it? Yes, 100%. That's what makes me very upset. I don't agree with the law of distribution being, hey, you want this pen? Okay, I'm gonna give it to you. That's a distribution of a little amount of white stuff. Again, I understand that it is illegal to have the white stuff. I totally get it. But charge him for a DRUG charge, not RICO. RICO was not made for that. I totally disagree. And I think the jury, for that charge specifically, I would hope that the jury would use their jury nullification and say, I don't care about that law. I think it's unfair. And just my 2 cents about that, laws are made by people. They're made by humans. There's a lot of laws that are changed, I don't know what the word is, fought against, but there's a technical word for it when you go and, laws change every year, every whatever, you know what I mean? Like, there's things that could be changed in the rule books, and I think that needs to be taken out of RICO. Should it be kept in a normal DRUG charge? 1,000%, but I think under RICO, you should have a certain amount, because the whole point of RICO is to get an enterprise. 2 people from an organization have to conspire together to do something, arson, bribery, or whatever, which I totally understand the RICO Act, and it's good that they invented this to take down these bigger criminal organizations. But the fact that you're trying to take down a big criminal organization, but you still have in there, and you have slid into that law, it could be a personal amount. The amount doesn't matter. There should be a certain amount. Under an organization, it should be like a key is your minimum amount. And the distribution should be like distribution to multiple people. You know what I mean? Like, you're in an area and they're building and you're serving, 10 people or more. should be distribution. It shouldn't be, I'm giving you a pen. I really think that law needs to be changed. And I hope they do not find him guilty on this, because that will be precedent. And like I said yesterday, if that is the case and that is law, and Diddy goes down for that, then you know what? Go and arrest all the other record labels, rock bands, hip hop act, anybody in the music industry, because that happens in every single. I was in the entertainment industry and in the music industry for 10 years. You can go to any record label, and I'm telling you, there's been a person within that record label that has handed over a controlled substance to another person that asked, guaranteed. So go arrest everybody for racketeering. Here comes the rain again. Oh my gosh. Yeah, go everybody. Movie studios, everybody in the entertainment industry are racketeers, if that's the case. Every single one. Gillian Crawford said, thank you, Trent, for being a mental health advocate. Oh my gosh, my coffee cup is empty now, so it's blowing around. I would also like to say how much of a beautiful soul and person you are. I would be a proud mama if my son grows up to be like you. Aw, thank you, Gillian. Gillian, sorry, I'm really bad with names. Gillian Crawford, thank you so much. My mom is like a big supporter of mine. Trust me, if she's not watching now, she'll be watching later. She watches all of my lives, every single one, and she texts me things like that every day. So I appreciate you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I'm sure your son will grow up to be just as great. Somebody says, Tony Montana says, when's the verdict? The verdict is anytime. Who knows? The verdict could be today at 9 a.m. or it could be in August. Like, you know, there is no set date. It's up to when the jury comes to a decision. Hold on, I gotta scroll down because there's a lot that just passed. Somebody says, oh, that's cute. Another person said, why do you think they didn't bring the, okay, I don't want to say that. It sounds a little bit, no. The kids didn't get, no, okay, I'm not gonna read that. Mud Crab said, your mama gonna feel so proud of that comment, Trent. Definitely she will. Trust me, I'm gonna get a text message from her. She's the best mom in the world. Love you, Ma. Thanks for tuning in. Somebody said, Diddy, please be free. Somebody said, shout out to Trent's mom. Dear Dana said, but RICO isn't based on that one act. No, RICO is based on two. You have to charge, you have to find a person guilty of two predicate acts, but it could be one act 2 times. It could be arson 2 times. It could be arson and bribery. It has to be 2, but it could be 1, 2 times. And we all know that Diddy, for sure, more than 2 times passed a DRUG to somebody. Like, that's, come on, we know that for a fact. Diddy wouldn't even argue that. He wouldn't even try to deny that. It was a personal amount. Somebody asked him for some. Sure, cool. Here, Jane. Here, Cassie. Here, Brendan. That's 3 right there. Boom. That's RICO. Cool. If that's the case, fine. Send him to jail, but go and arrest every single person in the entertainment industry. Forget that. Just go down to Wall Street. They're doing that even more than, you know what? Forget record labels. Forget the entertainment industry. Go down to Wall Street. Them guys are on that white stuff heavy, bro. And trust me, everyone's going down if that's the case. And that's the thing. Laws are written up in a way that could be bent for whoever the feds want to catch. And I think this is a slippery slope and a very dangerous slope that the feds will be heading towards if they convict Diddy for RICO under 2 acts of one of the predicate acts. That's crazy work. Don said, no, 25 is probably on Diddy's payroll. All right, you could think so, who knows? Another person said, no other race has these charges. Vanessa says, I think it will be tomorrow. I think so too. I think it could also be today though. I think it could also be today. You never know. I don't think we'll get a hung jury today. I talked about that yesterday just to give you guys a little bit of insight. It rains and then it stops. To give you guys a little bit of insight, I've seen this judge for a while now, weeks and weeks. He is such a fair judge. He is such a nice judge. Some judges, like I just read from the Stormy Daniels case, will continue reading, I think it's called the Allen Act, where it's like, no, keep going and deliberating, keep going. No, I'm not gonna accept jury nullification, keep going, keep going. And he was able to get a verdict. I do not see this judge doing this. I do not see this judge keep on set. He is so nice to these jurors. Even yesterday, oh, they're bringing people in early. Are they opening the doors? Hold up. It's 7:30. Um, they are, hold on, let me go a little closer here. Hold on, guys. Yeah, so he was being so nice to the, I'm not leaving you guys, okay? I'm just getting a little closer to the door in case they open early. 1 sec, stay with me. So yesterday when he was, just want to make sure I'm not forgetting anything. Yesterday when he was telling the alternate jurors to go home, when he was saying, "Hey guys, sorry that I have to send you home. Thank you so much for all the hard work. Thank you for everything that you're doing." He said, like, it sucks that you didn't get on, but we're our 12 is the only ones that can go back and deliberate. You guys do not get to deliberate, unfortunately. But thank you for spending the past 2 months. You could tell, like, in his heart, he was like, "Oh my gosh, like I really feel bad for you guys." He goes, "My clerks will give you my personal information. You can email me if you have any questions. If you you want to come back to the courthouse and take a personal tour." Like, he felt so bad he had to send them home. So for that reason, I don't think that if these jurors come back and say, "Yo, we're hung," like we're done. I really don't see him sending them back over and over and over and over again. They definitely have to be hopelessly hung. It can't be like one time, "Hey, we're hung." They definitely have to show that they're hopelessly hung. But yeah, I don't think the judge will send them back right away. I just want to ask one of these officers when they're opening the door. I like to get in there first. Terry Carter says, "Give your mom the shout out. Got you, like, new subscriber. I'm sure she's very proud of you. Thank you so much." Hold on, let me just ask this cop. What time are you opening the doors? 45. Okay, I got a little nervous. I saw you bringing people close. Oh, perfect. So I still got some time. Appreciate you. What up? All right, okay, cool, guys. I got an extra 10 minutes with y'all, all right? Whew, got me nervous, yo. Normally let me tell you guys, to give you guys some insight. People who line up like outside of the court grounds, and then maybe around half an hour before they bring them back on the court grounds and then have them line up. But these are people who don't have places inside, and they're hoping to get inside the courtroom, or if not, I think it's 11 spots, and then for those of them who don't get, or the 12th and onwards, they go into overflow. So that's it. All right. What else? All right, let me get back to the chat here. Okay, somebody said, "At Trying Out Loud, do you just sit in the courtroom all day doing nothing?" Thank you for the super chat, Lowe's, L-O-Z. I hope it's pronounced Lowe's. Thank you for the super chat. Love y'all. Do I sit in the courtroom and do nothing? So first of all, it's not doing nothing because the courtroom is super lit. There's Diddy to watch, his family there. We're talking to the lawyers, talking with some of Diddy's team. There's, like I told you guys yesterday, the prosecution really doesn't talk with us too much, but there's who just passed me here, Brian, or TMZ is there, CNN is there, ABC is there, NBC. So there's 14 public content creators, and then there's 21 people from the media, and then, like I said, there's family, there's other people there. So we're all together all day, every day. So you build up relationships with people, you go to the cafeteria. So just even in the courtroom, when we can talk, when the judge is not there, you build relationships. So you're not doing nothing, you're talking. Second of all, when court is going on, it's super interesting. I'm taking notes, and it's super hard because you're listening to testimony, you're taking notes. And yeah, and I have a show to do, right, in the morning and at lunch. And now I'm not doing lunches anymore, but because there's not enough information to do 3, but at the end of the day. So I'm sitting down taking notes for y'all. It's not boring at all. And like I love to do with you guys is I like to give you guys like really what it looks like, what it feels. So I take a lot of time, like, it's exciting in here, or it's sad, or people look stressed. I try to watch like what Diddy's lawyers are doing, how they're feeling, and try to give you guys an in-court experience. Like, it's cold in here. It's even in New York right now. Okay, the line is not busy outside. It's raining or whatever. So not bored at all. I find all of that super, super exciting, and I love coming back to report that to you guys. Having said all of that, today might be a little bit boring because they're not bringing in the jury. The jury is going right to deliberation. The morning is going to be exciting because the lawyers get to argue what they're going to send back, that note for the DRUG. So the morning's going to be very exciting. But when the jury is in deliberation, we all just sit in the courtroom. We can come and go as we please. Like I said, we're going to be talking, comparing notes or whatever. So long-winded way to say it is definitely not boring. All right, let's see. Diddy is no worse than those money-hungry. Okay, I'm not going to be insulting to women. Sorry, I cannot read that. Do you know who? Okay, can I read that? I have to be very careful what I read over these airways, you know? And I don't mean not to read your comment, but there's certain things that, you know, A, that will flag on YouTube, and B, that I don't want people to think that I am saying them. So Donnie Baby said, free Diddy, he is a rich bachelor or player, all right? Doesn't mean that he is allowed to commit crimes if you think he committed a crime. Next person says, do you know, oh my gosh, no other race. Okay, why are you guys talking about race? Laugh out loud, dude. What kind of ish was that? I don't know what you guys are talking about. Somebody said breaking up. Felicia Thomas said, you're a national journalist. Thank you so much. Somebody asked me something about another YouTuber. I do not talk about other YouTubers. They're all my colleagues. Y'all can have your own opinion. I do not talk about other YouTubers on my channel. Diddy caught a couple misdemeanors and got a RICO case. Yeah, Donnie Baby, 100%. Diddy, well, no, just under RICO. And you can't even say that because SCX trafficking under force, fraud, and coercion, or even trafficking, that is not a misdemeanor. But yes, if they find him not guilty for SCX trafficking, the Mann Act, if all of that is, and imagine he goes down for RICO and it's literally passing somebody something, like that would be crazy work, right? Somebody said next level groupie. I don't know what that means. He will get found guilty of RICO. That's Justin. I got another super chat. Thank you so much. Simply Savage sent me a super chat. Is that that emoji like me with that purple hair? Appreciate y'all. All right, I'll stay on 5 more minutes, y'all. Yes, we got to 50 minutes. Look at that. Look at us. Verdict out. He was found greasy. That's hilarious. TYG James says, how can you have 2 GUNs and do all these things and get set free? That's crazy. Your money works. So I actually was talking with somebody about the GUNs. He is not charged for those GUNs. They weren't found on him. They were found in his home. And from what I understand, that they didn't want to complicate things and have it come across where they didn't have enough to prove that. So although they found those GUNs and although they showed them to the jury, just to be clear, even the ones that had the serial number scratched off, Diddy is not charged at all, even under RICO, for the GUNs. They found it in the security room. They chose not to charge him, okay? Make sure y'all, repeat that whenever you're talking to anybody. He is not charged for those GUNs. The feds could find evidence and not charge you for certain things. That is their right, okay? Hold on, let me just turn off this phone. Just getting ready for when they call us in. Okay, what else can we do here? Diddy caught a couple. Okay, I read that already. Is the foreman a man or a woman? It is a man. Country club in Connecticut, a white man. Somebody got paid if he gets found not guilty. All right, that's up to you. I believe in the judicial system and the jurors, but that you totally have a right to your own opinion. Hold on, guilty, blah, 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 free Diddy. You forgot my super chat. Sorry, where's your super chat? I didn't see that. No, I did not miss anyone's super chat. I have them at the bottom. I called out everybody's. Mudcrab said they made that RICO law extremely vague so that they could get to the big bosses of the MOB easier, not to convict somebody because of their bedroom antics. The government straight up extorted Diddy. Yeah, dude, that is crazy. Somebody said innocent. Let me scroll down. All right, let me just jump down to the end here. Did I admit? Oh, I pronounced Will's name wrong yesterday. So, Will Wallace. What up, Will Wallace? Thank you so much for the super chat. Love you. Can't wrap my head around why Diddy would say something bad about Cassie when with his power, influence, and platform, he could have built her up. Why turn a beautiful woman into a freak off, HOE, when he could literally turn her into a queen? Thank you, Will, for that. I do want to say something in closing arguments. I told you guys that that was like Diddy's words verbatim that he just got Mark to say. And he, in the courtroom, when Mark was doing his closing statements, he grabbed Mark after lunch and he whispered something in his ear, because before lunch he finished with Cassie. Diddy told him something in his ear. Diddy seemed like a little bit upset, and then he started his Mark started back his closing arguments. He goes, "Oh, I just want to touch something about Cassie. You heard stuff about Diddy not supporting Cassie and it didn't put out his album." And he went on for 5 minutes. Bad Boy supported Cassie. We paid this. He was big supporter of Cassie. So Diddy wants us to know, or us to think, that those things are not true. And he did support Cassie and he did back her up. He wanted to make sure that that was in closing arguments because he knew that everybody would hear about closing arguments. All right. All right, guys. I am going to set it down right now because they're going to call everybody in, and I want to make sure I'm ahead and get in there first. Okay, so thank you so much for tuning in today. Again, I probably will not come out at lunch because I like to save it for the end and just give you a whole recap. The jury is supposed to be going until 5 today. It's up to them. They might want to go a little bit later, but they will probably go till 5. So I'll come out around 5 or 5:15, and we'll go usually like how we normally do, like we have been doing for about an hour, hour and a half. I'll give you a recap of the day, and then we'll take some questions and talk like we always do and hang out, all right? Of course, if anything major happens throughout the day, I'll come out and give you guys a quick hit. If not, be ready for another live at 5 p.m. today. I love y'all. Thank you for the super chats. Thank you for the comment. The poll was actually really fun today, man. So I'll see you guys later on this afternoon. Peace.